Potatoes, small 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 potatoes.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, and I avoided it as long as I could, but it's time for some Adrasdea. Today on Adrasdea, she has pivoted to justice for Bubba. This is a bold strategy because she feels that a dead tard is innocent enough, something she can shield herself behind while she tries to get revenge on her Aunt Cathy. Now, she'll tell us a bunch of reasons why that's not what's happening, but I'm going to prove absolutely that is what's happening, as if you guys needed proof. So, Adrasdea, take it away. What is justice for Bubba? And this is her first video that I'm going to grab. I'm not going to listen to her sing or anything. We've just got a few short ones. Justice for Bubba. Every day for the rest of my life, I'll ask why
apparently
you didn't protect us. That's a very interesting question. Why didn't somebody who lived in a different state come to protect you? Wasn't there somebody closer who might have been able to protect Bubba? Now, I know you say, oh, we'll let this play out.
Cathy has a problem with me singing.
No, we all have a problem with you singing. You're just sensitive to when Cathy says something about it.
Shame, because I'm going to upload about 100 more videos today of me singing.
You can only upload 15 videos a day, and we will report you for spam if you do that to our fucking feeds, Adrasdea. No shit. We will nuke your goddamn channel for that. And it won't be a second thought, because you uploaded fucking 25 videos of you just singing, belting out a cappella songs nobody wants you to sing. And the country twang that is not appropriate for the song.
Do you know why, Cathy? Because it's my channel.
Okay.
And it's my life.
Okay.
And if I want to sing, I'll sing.
Okay, but you don't have to, like, put it out in public because you suck at it.
And if I want to dance, I'll dance.
That would be interesting. We would like to see that.
And if I want to talk about my abusive family,
whoa,
I'll do that.
Okay, do that. It's a lot more interesting than you singing.
Justice for Bubba.
She really thinks this shit's going to catch on. She's planning to make signs. She thinks she's going to start a social media campaign for a child that probably could have been saved if what you're saying is true. And we'll get into who could have done it in a minute.
Cathy.
No, it's not Cathy. Guess again.
Justice for Bubba. Why did nobody protect my brother?
I don't know. Why are you picking on one member of your family that you're focusing on that you have a pre-existing beef with? It's kind of suspicious. Kind of brings the whole justice for Bubba thing into question when it comes to how genuine you are about it.
If I want to upload 200 videos today, just asking you that question, it's my right.
Okay, that's cool. But before you do that, if you're going to do face cam, you were laying down on the left side of your head here, and you should brush your hair.
How many times will I have to ask it before you'll respond to it?
I don't know. It seems to drive you crazier every time she doesn't respond, so I'm guessing she never will.
Why didn't you protect us?
She was in another state, but we'll get into that here in a moment. Her next video was called, I've Answered Many Times. When will Cathy say why she didn't protect us?
I can answer the question of why I didn't do anything.
I was going to ask you that question, Adrasdea. You're so mad at somebody who lived in another state that you've admitted in many videos previously that I have downloaded didn't know what the fuck was going on in that house. Because if you recall, your first course of action was to tell Cathy she didn't, when she said you were never abused, and I'm going to quote you as best I can, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about because she wasn't there. You were there. You know the abuse happened. Cathy doesn't know what she's talking about. So now you're flipping it to Cathy knew, and she could have saved us, but she didn't. Now, I would like to ask why you're not mad at every other member of your family, but specifically, why didn't you do anything?
Because I was a child.
Now, you see, Adrasdea, I have a little issue with that. I'll accept that you were a child until your dad ended up going to jail and you ended up staying with your Meemaw, right? Let's take that all the way to being 18. You know what happened when you were 21? Your father died. Now, you were away from that household. You had escaped. You were living with, and I'm quoting you, Meemaw, the only person you call Meemaw, because you make up names for people like Meemaw and Bubba that nobody else calls them. But that's 3 years you could have had the opportunity, as an adult, not as a child, to turn this abusive father of yours in and save Bubba 7 years of the abuse that followed. Because after that, he had to get put into a home, if I'm not mistaken about that. So why didn't you take that 3 years? And then let me ask you this. There was another 3 years after your father died when there was no fear of repercussion from your father, from Roberto the First or whatever. And you didn't take that opportunity either. Now, Adrasdea, you might respond to this with something like, well, I was an abused. Now, let me get, I know how you're going to respond to it because you're a fucking idiot and you're predictable and you're stupid. Well, I was an abused child and I couldn't get over the danger and I was working on me. To which I would respond to you, so your bullshit was more important than poor Bubba? Your bullshit was more important than making sure that this poor, innocent child wasn't taken out of this horrifyingly abusive home, Adrasdea? If anyone, no one's, and let's say what everything you're saying is true, which I don't believe, because you come up with new shit all the time. There is no one responsible for what that man did to his family except for him. But if I wanted to play your game, where we're going to play 6 degrees of separation from the fucking beat man, you're the most responsible. Well, I would have called, but my mom would have told him nothing was wrong. She'd have sent him away. Yeah, I know. Abuse victims typically will lie to protect their abuser if they're in a marriage that long. That's part of the game, right? So why do you think she would tell her sister? Why do you think she would walk around bragging that her husband's beat-ass and honor to the fucking family? I have a lot of questions about the genuosity, how genuine this justice for Bubba shit is. It's all a fucking scam. Yeah, you mentioned it in your book, and you've mentioned it before, but the only time you thought hashtag for justice for Bubba, Dr. Phil, you're looking for publicity to publicly shame a senior citizen in your family. And no, that's not cool. And I think, unless you can answer all those questions, bitch, I've proven very clearly that you are full of shit. Because either A, you had 7 years to report this shit and make it known and get your justice for Bubba, and you just didn't, because you expect everyone else to come save you and care, but you were too busy getting fucked up on morphine. Or B, you thought your shit was more important. I was scared. Well, you were too scared to get justice for Bubba then, weren't you? If everything you're saying is true, bitch, you're fucking responsible for it. By your own logic. You're definitely more responsible than an elderly woman living 500 fucking miles away, who by your own admission didn't know what was going on. So come on, Adrasdea, tell us another one.
I was a child that was being abused in the same house.
No, not in the years I'm talking about, bitch. I know you like to focus on the childhood, but I'm focusing on your young adulthood. And half of that while your dad was dead, and there wouldn't have been any repercussions at all for screaming justice for Bubba from all the fucking rooftops. Why didn't you, Adrasdea? As you were too busy getting fucked in a tent for weed.
I can answer that question.
You're projecting that guilt, and you're filtering it as hate for Aunt Cathy. And you're filtering it as this righteous indignation for this poor kid who had cerebral palsy, who was tortured and abused his whole life, who started his life as a fetus getting beaten on in the fucking womb. It's bullshit, Adrasdea. It's all bullshit.
Question. Cathy can't. When we ask Cathy why she didn't do anything to protect us, she doesn't answer at all. She has no answer.
Oh, she has an answer. I just gave it for you. Don't worry. I'm her new attorney.
You can ask me 100 times a day why I didn't protect my brother.
Why didn't you protect your brother?
And I'll give you the same answer. Because I was a child and I was in the same house being abused.
What about all the time till he died when you were 25?
I did everything I could for him.
He's only a year younger than you, Adrasdea.
But I was being abused in that house at the same time.
No, you weren't. You lived at Mima's after you turned 18.
Cathy wasn't.
Right. So how the fuck would she have known? If your mom would have lied to the cops and she lied to everybody else about all these ass whoopings, how did your mother show up at a hospital after your father sat on her stomach and beat her face into the fucking ground and there was no investigation started? She would have been fucking mauled by your description. You're a lying bitch, Adrasdea. 1986 is not 1955 where it's like, oh, you just had to give her a rap, I guess, huh? Yeah. That didn't happen in 1986. Sorry, I was there. It was not cool to beat on a bitch. You went to jail for it.
She had him for a little while and then took him back and gave him back to the people that she knew crippled him. And she can't answer why.
Because it wasn't her fucking child. How about that? It's a kid with cerebral palsy, who very well might have had a hick-ass family, but it still wasn't her fucking child. Maybe your mom and dad did turn out to be fucking hicks that beat on each other all the time and got drunk. I don't know. Police record would indicate so. That still ain't Aunt Cathy's child. Why didn't you save him? Why didn't you, Adrasdea? I was a child, not when you were fucking 24, 23, 22, 21, 19, and 18. You were grown up enough to go out and get married to a fucking guy who was fucking a 15-year-old. You were old enough in that time to go out and steal a person with cerebral palsy's fucking husband and help him murder somebody.
She's the one that needs to answer the question, not me. I have answered multiple times. What's her excuse? What's her reasoning?
She doesn't need one. She lived hundreds of miles away. She probably didn't know what was going on at the time, and it ain't her fucking kid, bitch. What about everybody else? What about your teachers, your principal, all these other people that knew you were being abused? What about the neighbors that knew that he was abusive and all this bullshit? Why didn't they save you? Because you're just focused on Cathy. You're trying to one-up Cathy. It is so transparent, and you have a different fucking thing every week.
What's her answer to why she decided not to protect children in her family that she knew was being abused?
I had the same fucking question for you, and I don't think you're going to answer it.
You're right, Cathy. You do make me want to scream. You make me want to scream justice for Bubba.
She really thinks this shit's going to catch on. She thinks this is some big brain brilliant ass shit she's doing right now. You have no idea how stupid you fucking look and how hard you're going to fail. Also, Adrasdea, it's not cool to just scream for help all the I'm going to scream. I'll never stop screaming. You know why you scream? Because you're a fucking pussy. Because you're waiting for some hero to show up and do everything for you. But it just so happens that you are the worst person in the world. And heroes don't save pieces of shit like you.
And you think it's so funny. You think it's so hilarious to watch me die internally.
So watching her die. Because she's put on more weight now, so she can't say dying outside anymore.
As my brother's truth is ripped away just like his life was.
Oh, God, I have my own truth. This is my truth. There is only one truth, bitch. Everything else is an opinion.
You think it's so funny.
She's talking like women in Facebook groups that she's going to try to market this justice for Bubba shit to. I don't think people on the West Coast are going to give a fuck about a kid named Bubba, first of all. But what is funny is she has this thing where she talks like Eunice from Mama's Family. It's for Bubba. Well, Eunice's son was named Bubba as well. I just thought that was just an interesting little coincidence.
Because you think you can silence me. What are you...
Oh, we could silence you. We could nuke your channel at any time. All the fucking violations of self-harm and spamming that you have.
What are you going to do when there are other people joining me in screaming justice for Bubba?
Oh, the Adrastean army is going to rise up and scream justice for Bubba.
Because I'm not always going to scream it inside my room.
Yeah, no, you will. You're going to be done with this in a week. We know you too well by now. We've been watching you for 6 months, fans of your channel. We know what you're going to do. You're on this little manic spree because you think it's real cool. You think it's going to end when you watch this broadcast.
I'm going to be making signs to plaster out on the streets.
It's a great way to spend the little money you have, asshole.
I'm going to be making signs to walk around with demanding justice for Bubba.
What would you like to happen? The man who abused him is dead. There will be no trial. There will be no justice. Justice has been served by the Lord. He's dead. If you're the Christian you claim to be, then you probably believe he's in hell. What justice do you want? Other than publicly shaming a senior citizen who dunked on you online for being an idiot.
And I'm going to scream so loud, Cathy.
Of course you will, because you can't fight because you're a weak fucking person. You are a pussy-ass bitch, and all you can do is scream, scream. I'll never stop screaming, scream. I'm going to scream, and it's so loud. Why don't you fight once in your life instead of screaming? Screaming for help, begging, groveling, sniveling. You are worthless.
I'm going to scream so loud, it will reverberate all the way down in your deep, empty soul.
If you mean by giving her a belly laugh, it probably will. What Justice for Bubba is her next video, because for some reason she thinks she didn't clear that up in the first 5. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the...
You know what? I'm skipping this one, because we know what it is. The devil isn't ugly at all. That's the danger. See, Aunt Cathy was kind enough to pay me a compliment in her last video. Thank you very much. I saw that, and I'm very grateful. Thank you very much, Aunt Cathy. Adrasdea saw that, and she didn't like that, and she accuses me of being Satan himself.
So my aunt talks about how charismatic and funny all of these bullies are. And, you know, that's exactly the problem, because Satan, he doesn't look like what you think he looks like. You know, you can walk across an evil human being on a daily basis, and you're not going to see someone with dead eyes. And
oh, no, we do. We see someone with dead doll eyes, like a fucking shark with no pupils. You have killer's eyes. Yeah, we see one.
Horns and tails.
By the way, you don't watch my show, so you don't know this, but we are followers of the Lord Jesus Christ here. I've accepted Christ into my heart, and in my own way, I'm doing his work. I prayed for all this, and he gave it to me because he likes what I do, because laughter heals people.
And slime. You're going to see.
And if you must be the sacrificial lamb to make all of these people laugh, and you're gonna put yourself out there like this, so wait, you're just running on the battlefield without armor every day. Justice for Papa. Yeah, okay, we're gonna cut you down for fun every morning.
Sexy motherfucker.
You're our 5 o'clock Charlie, bitch.
Because Satan is sexy. He's charismatic.
Didn't you call your father Satan himself?
He's funny, and he knows what you want to hear.
Oh, yeah?
And he knows exactly how to draw you in and how to make you feel more and more comfortable with the evilness every day.
I just wanted you guys to know you should feel very comfortable here. Are you guys comfortable? I need to turn down the AC or anything? You guys good? I want to make sure you're more and more comfortable with this shit every day.
Some people can see straight through it and walk right by and say, I don't want to deal with you.
Somebody's jelly. Somebody wishes she had viewers on YouTube. She's going live soon, by the way.
There's something wrong. And others, they don't want to see through the mask because they see too much of themselves.
Nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask.
And that's...
See? Like now, what happened with crazy bitches today? Like Mersh is the shepherd of doom or some shit, and now I'm Satan himself. Not really. I'm not Satan.
That's what Satan wants.
No, I just want subscribers, man.
He can mimic all of those lovable things.
It's true. It's true. I'm glad to see that she's a fan of the show. I can mimic a lot of things. Look, I can mimic an Asian person. Hey, look, it's me, but Asian. You've seen the full destructive potential of the AP-209. You sure you want to be talking this shit?
You love about yourself and make you believe that he's just like you.
I'm just like you.
And so
I'm a cartoon man. Hey, I thought it was Hitler. Yeah, Rigzilla's right. You can't just make me Satan without my authorization. You named us the fuck people. You called me Hitler. Now you want to change up the canon just because you've been reading the Bible lately.
He's laughing at the homeless, and it must be okay. If he's making fun of...
Oh, no, we're not laughing at the homeless. You don't see me just walking around laughing at people down in their luck. I'm laughing at a dumb idiot who continues to make all of the wrong choices in life, in public, on video.
Disabled people, it must be okay because he's so charismatic and he's so funny and he thinks the same way I do, so it must be okay.
Thank you.
And that's how he gets you, and that's how he gets a full conga line of people behind him, following him straight into hell.
Dun, 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 hey. Dun, 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 hey. Going to hell, hey. 12:23 a.m. here in Fabulous Los Angeles, broadcasting live from Adonis Pleasure Palace Hotel, Casino Resort and Gun Range. I'm Adonis, your food and beverage administrator, and remember, get in my conga line, because I'm the bad guy. We've gotten through half of the show, but don't worry, we got a whole half coming up, and this is some good shit. We saw Gasuba. We saw a bitch serious about her nails. We just dropped it on Adrasdea. We saw Otis Redwood almost rape a bitch. We learned about CRT, and Jacksonville turned their name to Derp. Because that's what good cities do.